Hello everybody, I'm John Hindorf saying welcome or benvenuto or ciao. It's the Michelin 24H series, and after an intense couple of races in the Arabian desert at Dubai and Abu Dhabi, the 24-hour series roars into its third stop. Welcome to the breathtaking Autodromo Internazionale di Mugello. Once again, we'll take you inside the heart of endurance racing, where strategy, speed and pure determination collide. There's a grueling multi-class grid which provides the ever-present challenge of lap traffic. This race will be a battle of nerves, skill and endurance. From daring overtakes to last-minute pit stop drama, every moment will count. Buckle up, the action is about to begin. This is the Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello. This is the first stop on the 2025 European Series calendar. As usual for the 24H series, we're using iconic tracks around the globe this season. After this stop, we'll head to the Ardennes roller coaster of Spa-Francorchamps, then a second stop in Italy at Misano, before stopping at the famous Circuit Paul Ricard on the Côte d'Azur. The grand finale of the 2025 season at the legendary Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona in September. Mugello in the rolling hills of Tuscany is an iconic circuit known for its high-speed straights, technical corners and relentless elevation changes. It's an absolute classic and beloved by motorsport enthusiasts and competitors on 2 and 4 wheels. 5.245 kilometres, 3.25 miles. Compact, looks a bit like an elongated capital J set in a valley. Plenty of good places to watch here.
I've watched plenty of the MotoGP here, and to actually see the track, I didn't realise how much elevation and all over the place, and how grippy the circuit is. It's really cool.
The Mugello circuit, it's an amazing circuit. I mean, from both drivers' perspective and from the spectators' perspective, it's a beautiful circuit. And yeah, it's been good so far. And the good thing about the Creventic series, you get so much of seat time, so much of track time.
This is a circuit that makes drivers and spectators' pulses a little bit faster across the start-finish line. One of the longest straights in motorsport, and the GT3's topping out at 270 kilometres an hour. Late braking into San Donato, the uphill right-hander, and take a late apex, stay across to the right-hand side of the road. Little bit of a wiggly bit here. That is Luco and Poggio Secco. Then down towards Matarazzi. That's turn 4. Highest part of the circuit here. There you dip down through Borgo and Casanova. The fast downhill left-right chicane Savelli. Turn 8 and 9. The Arrabbiatas. Lowest point of the track, double right-hander, almost flat out. Almost flat out. Precision is the key. Any mistakes here can cost significant lap time. Now drivers fighting on the uphill gradient at the back of the grandstand through turn 10. Scarperia and Pelagio. Left-hander is turn 11. These corners demand a balance between speed and precision to optimise the exit for the next straight. Now, Correciao, that's the tricky hairpin. Again, that drops away. Now, through the insanely fast Biondetti chicane, drivers are aiming for a clean line to keep speed for the final sector. Pulling through the gears toward Buccini, the final of the 15 corners. To master the Autodromo Internazionale di Mugello, you require a blend of high-speed confidence, precise braking and smooth cornering. Lap times around 1 minute 48 seconds. Anybody below that's done a very good job indeed. Before the race, we have to set the grid, and that's done in a qualifying that's divided into 3 15-minute sessions. The teams nominate 3 drivers. Each driver goes out and puts in their fastest lap time. You add those together, and the team with the fastest average gets pole position in their class. The rules here are even more of a challenge because tyre changes and refuelling are prohibited. So all 3 sessions have to be done on a single set of tyres and a carefully calculated fuel load. In the GT4 class, it's the purple and white Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 of CCS Racing that puts down the fastest average lap time. The 702 French Vortex V8 team take the pole position in the GTX class with their Vortex 2.0. After the 3 sessions, Arnaud and Olivier Gomez are incredibly 2.5 seconds ahead of the 111 Racing team from Australia. The always hard-fought 992 class is for Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars, and in third it's Seb Lajou Racing, the number 888, another pristine purple Porsche. They benefit from a post-qualification penalty for Holmgaard Motorsport, who actually qualified in third in the times. Martin Rump of Mulder Motorsport in the number 921 opened Q1 with a fantastic best lap time of 150.4, 7/10 of a second faster than all the other drivers in Q1, and the best overall time in qualifying. But ultimately, as ever, it was only fractions of a second that decided the top positions. Rick Breukers, the star driver of Red Camel Jordan.nl, took only one flying lap to jump the Dutch team from 5th to 2nd in Q2, straight back to the pits to hand it over to his brother Luke for the showdown in Q3.
We just want to save the tyres, so we did more or less, I think, quite a safe lap, but it was a good lap. So, yeah, felt very happy about the lap. I thought it should be good enough, and Luke wants to have fresh tyres as well, so that was the reason why I came in. That's our strategy for this weekend, and so far it's looking quite okay. I think we are just in the lead on average now, and Luke goes in right now, so let's see what happens.
Julian Hansers in the Mulder Motorsport Porsche giving everything in Q3 to keep the average best time for the team. But a 151.4 is not going to be enough. Luke Breukers 0.3 of a second quicker than Hansers. Overall, that means just 1/10 of a second is the advantage, and pole position goes to Red Camel Jordan.nl. And now the front of the field, the mighty GT3 class. At the beginning of this season, the Redon family have brought a brand new Mercedes-AMG GT3, stepping up from the 992 class. They seem to have no difficulties in adapting to the new racing machinery. The Belgian team, Red Ant Racing, third position. Second place, another AMG GT3, the American Heart of Racing team, Ian James, teaming up with two young guns, Gray Newell and Hannah Grisham. They're all very fast. Need to keep an eye on this team for the podium tomorrow. At the front of the field, it's the Swiss Kessel Racing team with the Ferrari 296 number 8. In Q3, David Fuminelli leading, but has a little mistake. That was a shock. Doesn't seem to faze him at all. On his very last lap, on worn tyres, he puts in the fastest qualifying time of any driver, a 1:46 flat. That is impressive. The team knows how to win a 12-hour race, and this is on home soil. Let's catch up with David Fuminelli with Diana in the pit lane.
It was great. I mean, we got our first overall pole position with our Pro-Am lineup. We had a very difficult day, so I'm great to give this gift to the team because they worked so hard. And I mean, it's an amazing qualifying session. We are close to the sunset, so I really like those conditions. The car was great, and I was able to put the lap together after a few laps because at the beginning I was really on the limit and I had a few mistakes, but yeah, it was great.
It's Saturday, the first of 2 race days here at Mugello, and as ever, in the final moments before the start of any endurance race, it's starting to get tense. It's the moment when time seems to stand still, and today that tension is even higher. The track is soaking wet, constant rainfall for the last few hours. This will bring a special extra challenge. Michelin, the new tyre partner since the beginning of this season, so therefore some drivers will be running for the first time on Michelin wets. They have to adapt quickly to how their tyres will behave under braking, acceleration and cornering without any prior knowledge. The drivers don't immediately know where the limit of grip will be. Let's head down to the front of the grid where Diana Binks is with our pole sitter.
I mean, completely different condition as we can see, so it's going to be an interesting race. But the 4 of us, we are ready. Our car seems to be quite good on the wet, so we couldn't test. But I mean, let's see. We need to survive. It's an endurance race, so hopefully we can get through Sunday.
Pro drivers and endurance veterans on the grid of the Michelin 24H series, but also a great place for novices and young talent to learn. Here's Hannah Grisham.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good effort from everyone, but I'm definitely starting to get comfortable with this Mercedes. The SBS guys did a great job getting it together, but I'm excited for today. It'll definitely be interesting with the rain, but obviously everyone's in the same situation. No one's had any practice laps and they're wet here. So it'll be interesting, bit of a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it.
The Michelin 24H Series has always attracted family teams as well, living their dream of racing on some of the best circuits in the world. The Belgian Red Ant racing team is the perfect example. Here's Kenneth Heyer with Dai.
I have so much fun. I raced together with the father, Bert. We won the 24 of Zolder so many years ago. Seeing the kids growing and now sharing the car with them, for me, is very, very special. It's a really family-based team, but they do it on a very high professional level. Already in the last years, couple of years with the Porsche, they won more or less everything with that class. So the goal is clear. We want to get it done in the first weekend, and then we want to grow and be a really strong enemy for everybody else.
Wet conditions this morning have required a change in the start procedure, as our race director explains.
Well, after a couple of beautiful days with dry weather conditions, we now face a wet track. That's the reason why we've decided that this morning in the start procedure we'll have 2 formation laps, so all drivers can get used on these wet track conditions.
Confidence in yourself, the car and the tyres will be key in these difficult conditions. A new car coming to Mugello in combination with the new Michelin tyres and the wet weather is going to be a special challenge.
Yes, yesterday it was a great day. The car was okay with the weather condition. And now for the rain, we don't know because it's a new car. We drive just one time on the rain. But the target is to finish the first part in the same lap as our concurrent for tomorrow.
So let's take a look at the starting grid. On the front row, pole sitter, the Triple C Kessel Racing Ferrari number 8 and the Heart of Racing SPS AMG GT3. Behind them, Red Ant Racing and Era Motorsport, who includes the British Touring Car champion Jake Hill. In 5th and 6th, on the third row, Proton Huber Competition and Continental Racing. On the fourth row, ARC Bratislava and Jutta Racing. Coming to the end of the second formation laps, ready to go racing. Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello 2025. When the red lights go out, we're racing. Full speed, even start, I would say, from the front row. David Fuminelli in the Ferrari on our left-hand side of the picture, holding on to the lead. Great start for Manuel Lauk in the orange Proton Huber Porsche, who's up to third, I think, there. Everybody funnels through the first corner. Best view from the pole sitter, of course. Heart of Racing, I think, still in second place there. Yes, they are. No, they've lost it. They've lost it there. Through comes the Porsche. So into second. Heart of Racing in third. RPM on board. That is very, very difficult indeed. Wiper going like the clappers, almost like driving blind there. David Fuminelli, Kessel Racing, leading from Proton Huber Competition, and they are scampering away from the rest of the field. The best start certainly going to Proton Huber Competition, up 3 positions. Ian James, the Heart of Racing AMG in third, 4th Continental Racing. That's up a couple of positions. Red Ant Racing 5th in their debut in the GT3 car. Era have lost a couple of positions, now down in 6th. Alex Prince has made a good start from 13th to 7th in the Hoffa Racing Mercedes, and in 8th, ARC Bratislava. Fuminelli is making the best of the good visibility, 3 seconds ahead of Manuel Lauk from Proton Competition. He is really moving very smoothly. Vasily Vadikin of Continental Racing, another place gained there in the Audi R8, up into third. Not everybody making it round. A little spin for the Vortex and the AAA Porsche, just getting offline as well and losing some positions. But despite the very, very difficult conditions here, there's some brilliant battling going on. 992 class, as ever, is really hard fought. Porsche Baltic with Ajit Kumar Racing and Mulner Motorsport fighting for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Mathieu Detrey in the red and white Porsche of Ajit Kumar Racing. He's got plenty of experience. He's going to try and go around the outside. Robert Kupcikas tries to hold on in the Porsche Baltic car. This is very, very brave indeed. Great driving. And at turn 11, Pelagio That is second position now for Mathieu Dutré. The leader in 9.92 from pole position, Rick Breukers, has survived the hectic start and he's putting in some good lap times. He's well away from that battle for second. Strong race so far from Josef Kral in the grey and yellow Ferrari from Scuderia Praha. He started back in 14th. He's in third now and he's challenging Manuel Lauck in the Proton Huber Porsche for second. Oh, almost a touch there, coming over the brow down into Sant'Anato, the first corner. Uphill right-hander, now braking himself. The Ferrari just about holds on. Josef using all his skill there. David Fuminelli at the front of the field. Not bothered about any of the scrapping going on behind him. 45 minutes in, 20 seconds the lead. Great racing from the man behind the wheel of the Swiss team car. Let's have a look at the other classes. GT4, Team Venture number 421 from third to first in their AMG GT4. 10 seconds ahead now of the pole-sitting CCS Racing. In GTX, it's been a decent weekend so far. Pole position in qualifying for Vortex V8. French team leading their class, the 2.0. A very special racing machine. The big Chevy V8 in the back. And at the moment, running well. Oh, bit of drama. That is the second Vortex, the 701 car. Now that's stuck in the gravel. This will be the first Code 60 of the race. Code 60 is a safety procedure that the Michelin 24H series uses to manage on-track incidents. All cars have to slow down to 60 kilometers an hour and maintain their position with no overtaking. Now, unlike a safety car, this avoids bunching up the field, keeps the gaps between cars consistent, and it means the marshals can get out and respond to any incident safely. Taking a fuel stop in the Code 60 is not cut and dried in this series because you can only take 25% of your normal fuel allowance, unless you're a full amateur team, and then you can fill the tank right up. Also, it gets crowded in the fueling area, so you've got to come in at the right time when you can get on a fuel pump. Well, David Fuminelli, the leader in the Kessel Racing Ferrari number 8, has taken the opportunity for the pit stop. He'll cycle down the pit lane now for a standard pit stop. Looks like he's going to get out, and there's a new set of Michelin wet weather tyres. It's Alessandro Cutrera who's going to get into the Italian supercar. Well, we've been racing for an hour and a half now, and the conditions, if anything, I think are getting worse. Certainly when behind traffic, there's almost zero visibility and the track is super slick with a little bit of standing water in places. Almost impossible to see beyond the car ahead. Drivers are going to have to be very, very careful with their throttle and brake applications. Oh, big slide for the Audi, but somehow managed to hold on to the position. But there is a spin for Kessel Racing at the top of the hill where the car goes light. Alessandro Cutrera, coming back on the track as well. That's very dangerous. He's been so lucky not to have been picked up there. And now he's dropped down to 13th position. Well, he's back moving now. Didn't hit the barrier and no one hit him. But he's well outside the top group. Welcome to the Michelin 24H series for a brand new car to the championship. The yellow Lotus Emira GT4 from Italian Lotus PB Racing Team. Alberto Nasca dealing with the conditions very well indeed. Nicholas Gebhardt in the purple and white Porsche. The Cayman GT4 of CCS is trying his hardest to put some pressure on. Gebhardt in the Porsche coming from a long way back. He's not going to get that stopped. He's in the gravel. It's Antonada, the first corner. Now he's got to keep his foot in. The Michelin wet weather tyres giving him a little bit of grip. If he can get onto the grass, I think he'll get it out of there. Oh, he just missed the Lotus.
We started very well. It is the first race that the Emira GT4 is doing as endurance race. So we are really doing a very great job because at the moment the race is still long, but we are in first position of the GT4 and we are very happy about the job that we did with the Lotus Motorsport before coming here and even here in the last days. Alberto is doing really amazing job in driving, because in this condition we didn't test before the car under rain, and I think that there is a lot of rain now.
Well, it's really treacherous out there, and that is the leader in GTX, who's had a little spin, Olivia Gomez. However, no major consequences, because their closest rivals, the 111, has also been off the track, and at the moment the Vortex has got a 3-lap lead. Manuela Gosner off the track in the green AMG. This is going to be more work for the Marshals. Let's have a quick word with Nicholas Jonsson from RPM Racing.
Yeah, well, physically it's not that hard, because you don't, pull that many G loads and stuff like that. But the difficulty is the visibility. If you come back up behind the car, you have to almost back off on the straights, because you can't really see anything. You have to, look at the guardrails to know if you're on track or off track, really. So even if you have a good pace in the back of the track and right on somebody's bumper, you have to back off when you come onto the straight. Otherwise, you just don't see anything. So for us right now, it's just about, staying out of trouble, really, and get through the worst of the weather here, hopefully, and then we'll see what we get, what we got there later on this afternoon and tomorrow.
Well, 3.5 chaotic hours here at Mugello, heavy rain, and I think a record-breaking 13 code 60s. Manamari Energy by EB Motors, the number 95 multicoloured Porsche, is at the head of the field. Sabino De Castro and Sergei Nikolai have stayed out of trouble and kept that Porsche on track. The third driver, by the way, Fabrizio Broggi, has not driven yet. He's never driven the Porsche in the rain before, so it's possible he won't drive today. The weather forecast for tomorrow is much better. 45 seconds away in second place, Team Proton Huber competition. Jörg Dreisau has taken over the car. Manuel Lauk started it, remember. Jörg on his first stint, he's doing very nicely, thank you very much. However, Jörg can't relax, because things are pretty intense behind him. Matthias Weibo of the Scuderia Praha Czech team, the number 56, and Gerhard Twereza in the yellow Lamborghini of ARC Bratislava are fighting for third and are closing in. I may be being optimistic, but there's a slightly less wet line appearing as this battle for second, third and fourth intensifies. Three-way battle now for third place. Dreisau trying to hold on and keep the two mid-engine cars behind him. Oh, he's gone a little bit wide into Arrabbiata too, and that's going to lose him at least one position. No, it's lost 2 positions. Oh my goodness me, just showing you how a small error can be punished very quickly indeed. Teresa now going for second. ARC Bratislava to the outside into the first corner, might find a little more grip around there. Inside line seemingly better. That again shows to me that it's getting a little drier, but up at the top of the hill, the Lamborghini on the inside has the advantage for a moment and turns it into second place. It's not over yet though, almost a little touch, and now onto a much drier part of the circuit, and ARC Bratislava now in P2. Let's check in on the action in the 992 Cup class. A couple of different pit strategies being employed at the front of the field, so Red Camel Jordan.nl and Müllner Motorsport are rotating the lead. It is the Dutch team at the sharp end at the moment. Luke Breukers behind the wheel, coming down into the first corner. He's on the outside there. Oh, he's braked a little bit late. Now, can he keep it out the gravel? No, he cannot. Now, can he get to that grass? We've seen this work before. The rear engine Porsche doing a bit of rallycross there. That mistake by Luke has allowed Julian Hanses to catch up. And now the battle for the lead is on, and Hanses gets the grip round the outside of Colin Chow and into the chicane. They are using the curbs a little more now. Again, that tells me there's a wee bit more grip. Müllner Motorsport lead, Red Camel Jordan in second in 992, 13th and 14th overall. 4 hours into the race, here are the standings. Manamari Energy by EB Motors have spent nearly 20 laps in the lead now. They're a couple of minutes ahead of Triple C Kessel Racing from Switzerland. Huber Proton Competition in third, Heart of Racing in fourth. Hoffer ahead of Continental Racing by Simpson in fifth and sixth. Red Ant in contention in seventh. Eighth, the team That is Jutta Racing after some pit stops. The first 992 class team is in 9th position. That's Michelin Motorsport. Michelin Racing round out the top 10. Drama for the GT4 Lotus PB Racing Emira. The car stopped at the pit entry. The teams had to push it down the pit lane. Oh, this doesn't look good. They have the laptop plugged in there. Stefano De Asti is in the car at the moment, but quite obviously this is not a quick fix. De Asti's getting out. Something serious going on with the Lotus. So that means a brand new leader in GT4. Team Venture with the 421 blue and orange Mercedes AMG GT4. 1 minute and 40 seconds now ahead of what was the pole sitters, CCS Racing, in second. Tough conditions with parts of the track drying up, others still very wet indeed. And third place, Jörg Dreisau, has hit a wet patch and gone off. The Proton Huber competition car's been into the wall. It's heavily damaged. Poor Jörg is not happy with himself there, as he knows that's his mistake, and he's clearly very annoyed with himself. Endurance racing, pure emotion. Leaders into the fuel station together. Now this is crucial because the Ferrari is just on a lap behind the Porsche of Manamari Energy by EB Motors. So they have got 2.5 hours to get back on the lead lap, because any gaps between the cars on the same lap are eliminated tomorrow for the restart. Short fuel the Ferrari, turn it around quickly. Here are the leaders after their fuel stop. Manamari Energy by EB Motors, Sabina De Castro getting out. Now they need to turn this car around as quickly as possible, and they are doing a fabulous job here. Really getting everything done. The driver's almost ready to go. The Michelin tyres are on. That car needs to go now.
I love when the track, when there is a rain, I'm very happy. The whole team work very good, and I hope to fight tomorrow for the podium.
So we've had a pretty stable hour of racing now, and the Dutch team of Red Camel Jordan.nl leading the 992 class with Rick Breukers back in the car on his second stint. As ever, he's squeezing everything out of that 911 GT3 Cup car. 8th position overall. That's put quite a few GT3 cars behind them, and they should be quicker. In GTX, the number 702 Vortex V8 has a comfortable margin, 7 laps ahead of the 701 sister car. Third in GTX, the Australians, the 111 Racing team. They've had a few problems in the first phase of the race and down at the back of the field. And in GT4, the lead hasn't changed here in the last hour. The two Matthews, George and Higgins of Team Venture, the number 421, putting in good, consistent, fast lap times. Second place, CCS Racing, 2.5 minutes behind. The Michelin 24H Series has a number of traditions, not all down to what goes on in the track. Here at Mugello, we always have locally made Italian pizzas, and they're absolutely fantastic. I can tell you, it's one of the highlights for the hard-working mechanics and crew members. Over 80 pizzas brought into the paddock. The pizzas seems to have unleashed a new energy for the Italian Lotus PB racing team. The yellow Lotus is back on the track, 45 minutes in the garage. True endurance racing spirit, never giving up. Light rain again here at Mugello. So, in the pit stop, do you put slicks or wets when you come in? That Ferrari going out is the 29 Michelin racing car, and that was on slick Michelin racing tyres. That might be a bit of a gamble here. Felice Gelmini will have to be careful on his outlap. The slicks aren't up to temperature. Now he's got to try and keep it out of the gravel. He just about has. Michelin tyre update for Vortex, the 702, going out on slick tyres. Meanwhile, down at Heart of Racing, Hannah Grisham is getting... No, they're wets. They're Michelin wets there. Every team trying a different strategy, it seems. Maybe they have a different weather forecast as well. Hoffer Racing, number 11, in the rear-view mirror of Hannah Grisham. Second place this is for now. Both in the AMG Mercedes GT3s, down to Poggio Secco, Max Partle on the inside. gets the power down. Past Hannah Grisham, great manoeuvre. Hoffer Racing now in second. Into the pits from second, Max Partel is handing over to Alex Prince in the Hoffer Racing number 11. Side by side into the hairpin, and there's a touch there. Oh, that's the Seb Lejou Racing, Paul Meyer car, and Alex Prince. Prince is in the gravel from second place. He's just taken that car over. That is such a shame for the likeable family team. Looks like the purple Porsche was down the inside, a slight touch, but in these conditions led to them both spinning in the Müllner Porsche, just avoiding them both.
We hope there's nothing bigger on the car. It's full of stones, so yeah, it was really stupid accident. In the end, it's racing, but we feel free to the Porsche guys to come here to the box for a coffee and a fair handshake, and it's endurance racing, so we keep on.
One of the Vortex in the gravel, and that isn't coming out of there. That's the 701 car, and this will be a code 60 with just 7 minutes left on the clock. I think we'll finish today under a code 60. Let's take a look at the leaders after the first day of racing. It's the Italian team of Manamari Energy by EB Motors. They've got 90 laps at the top of the standings. Kessel Triple C Racing with the dark red Ferrari 296 in second. They started from pole, fell back to 13th, and then they fought their way back. Most importantly, they did get on the lead lap, so they'll start tomorrow right alongside Manamari Energy by EB Motors. In third place, Heart of Racing by SPS, running well and on the same lap as the leading two. So those three cars will literally start all over again with nothing between them tomorrow morning. In the 992 class, it's Müllner Motorsport in the lead. Red Camel Jordan.nl, 1 lap down. That last code 60 didn't work well for them. In GTX, things unchanged. The 702 Vortex running a lonely race, actually, at the front of the field. 11 laps to the good of their sister team, which brought out that code 60 at the end of today. Could be a first and second, though, still for the French team. And Team Venture finishing the first day of racing here at the Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello in first place in GT4. Fabulous first day for Manamari Energy by EB Motors. Tomorrow, Fabrizio Brogi will do his first stint.
It is absolutely great, but of course the race is long. We have learned, unfortunately, with some sorrows that races do end at the checkered flag on the second day. A very difficult race for everybody. People that put slick and tried, then they went out and it was worse. To gain 5 seconds, then you were losing a few minutes. We have been lucky. We did a decent race. I sacrificed my stint today to be in this position. I haven't been in the car because they were the safest. And I haven't had a chance to try ever the car on the range. So I decided to sacrifice my part today, since tomorrow it looks like it's going to be dry, and then tomorrow I'm going to be in the car.
So on Saturday evening, we'll reflect on a day packed full of endurance racing action, spins, collisions, code 60, massively fierce battle for position, some great pit stops, masterful repairs, and especially lap after lap, flat out in terrible conditions, full concentration from the drivers. Here's the results from day one. Manamari Energy by EB Motors in first, ahead of Kessel in second, Heart of Racing by SPS in third. All three on the same lap. The gaps between them closed up at the restart tomorrow morning. Fourth place, 2 laps back, Continental Racing. Fifth, Era Motorsport. Sixth, the first 911 Porsche Cup car, that's Müllner Motorsport. And Hofer Racing back in seventh, with Jutta Racing in eighth, Red Ant in ninth, Red Camel Jordan in the top 10 as well. According to regulation, you cannot work on the cars overnight. Refueling not permitted either. If any team violates the rule without asking for a special permission, 10-lap penalty. Now, with the night, silence sets in at the Autodromo Internacional de Mugello. Tomorrow, we'll fire up the engines again. Buongiorno tutti. We're back for the Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello. 5 hours of top-notch endurance racing to come today. You know, yesterday, everybody gave everything to get their positions the best they could on the grid. Day one, a little bit of a starter, an antipasti, if you will, for the main course, which stands in front of us today. Now, we've had heavy rain overnight. Race control have allowed the team to put on new wet tyres. Let's hear from the top three teams on the grid.
Yes, fantastic day. Fantastic work yesterday for all the team. Today is very different because some car have a new tire because finished the race yesterday with the slick, and today have a new set, and we use the old set. But no problem. Now fight with the Ferrari and another Mercedes, but maybe the Ferrari have 4 laps penalty if don't drive all driver, but well, we try to go fast, maybe finger crossed.
Yeah, good morning everyone. I'm feeling great. Yesterday we had a fantastic first part of the race. Conditions are very similar, so yeah, let's see. It's gonna be an interesting race due to the strategy calls. It's gonna be important to see if we're gonna have the chance to put slick tires sooner or later. So, yeah, looking forward.
I think it went really well. I mean, Hannah, and it was her first wet race, so she was amazing yesterday. Graded amazing stints as well. We're just trying to keep our nose clean, stay out of trouble, and we managed to do that for 7 hours, 5 more to go.
Rolling out this Sunday morning on the formation lap here at Mugello. Everybody ready for another 5 hours of full throttle. The restart of the Michelin 12 hours. Red lights will go out and we're straight onto full throttle down that long front straight. Look at the spray in the midfield. How does anybody see? We had 4-5 wide there for a moment, and it's the Ferrari, as it was yesterday, that is at the front of the field, and that is now the lead, remember. The first 3 started on the lead lap. Fuminelli with another rocket-like start. Manamari Energy running down in second, but it looks like a Heart of Racing is being pushed back through the pack. They're still in third, remember, because they've got laps on the cars around them. Quite a lot of cars, at least 1 or 2 laps behind those top 3. Fuminelli driving like he's in another world. Already, what's that, a handful of seconds ahead of everybody else on the circuit. Incredible stuff from Fuminelli. Despite all that traffic, it is Manamari in second, and Heart of Racing, although they've been passed by a few cars, it's still in third overall as the lapped cars stream through. Oh my goodness, that's the U-turn, number 71 car into the gravel on this first restart lap. That'll be a code 60. Now, this has worked brilliantly well for Ian James in the 27 Heart of Racing. He has come into fuel and the pits, but for the Kessel Racing Ferrari that's leading, he just passed the pit entry and Fuminelli couldn't get in. He's going to come in this next time around. Ian James has been and gone. That is an advantage for Ian James and the Heart of Racing team. Completely different strategy for Manamari Energy and the Porsche of Sabino De Castro, who did not pit in that code 60. So as we go back to green, it is that number 95 Porsche back in the lead of the race with the ARC Bratislava Lamborghini trying to get a lap back. Team Venture has survived the starting phase, still leading in GT4, second position CCS Racing. They're a lap behind the leader. Team Vortex leading in GTX. They had a bit of a problem with their door handle and had to start from the pit lane. Not a real problem though. 10 laps their margin to the sister team in second place. Rick Breukers of Red Camel Jordan has reclaimed the lead in the 992 class. Mulner Motorsport in second. Rick is running his own race as well, as he tends to do. He's once again passed some of the faster GT3 cars. 5th position overall for that 992 Cup class car. Great racing weekend for the Dutch team, except for Rick's father, Ivo Breukers. He can't race. Torture.
Very, very frustrating. Feels a little bit awkward to be here, not being able to get in the car.
It's a very strange feeling. You want to contribute, you want to do something. Still the emotions are there following your son's racing, but it's hard. I had some understeer on my bicycle in the middle of the night.
David Fuminelli, who lost out due to that bad timing of the Code 60, is now on a mission. 6 seconds a lap he's taking out of Sabino De Castro in the Manamari Energy Porsche. De Castro is in a decent rhythm as well. That gap, though, is coming down, and it's time to pit. 30 seconds the gap as the Porsche heads to fuel and pits. So Kessel Racing then, the number 8 Ferrari, back in the lead. 3.5 hours in today, and the sun is out. Blue sky, finally. Some blue sky. Over the Tuscany Hills. The track is drying up quickly. It's time for slicks. Let's hope the weather stays like this until the checkered flag. Smart driving by Ian James at the start today. Some of the lapped cars got past him, but that didn't affect the position. The 27 Heart of Racing AMG still in third. He's got a full tank of fuel, some new Michelin tyres now, and Green Newell to take over.
It was much better. We got the car in a better window yesterday, throughout the stints. And it was actually fun. We stayed on the wets to the end because we were trying to get, extend our fuel mileage. So we were losing a bit of time at the end. It's all about track positioning and staying away from the fuel pumps here. Yeah, I mean, you have to go so much faster to make up for the fueling time here. It's our idea is we just try and just stay out on track. Even if we're a little bit slower, we just keep putting the laps in. So going to plan now, and Gray's in the car. We just went to slicks, and then Hannah to finish off.
It looked like it was going to be a quiet race for Era Motorsport yesterday. At one point, they were down a 14th position, and then as it dried up, they really started to come through the field. On the very last corner yesterday, they got a lap back and finished 5th. That made a huge difference for today's part of the race. They're back to 4th place now, just 6 seconds behind Green Newell of Team Heart of Racing. Second place Porsche into the pits. Now this has been a short stint for Fabrizio Broggi. Oh, I see what they're doing. He'll stay in the car here because he has to serve his minimum driving time according to the rules. The battle for third place is turned up to gas mark 8 here. It is Era Motorsport and the blue Ferrari with Kyle Tilley behind the wheel, Green Newell in the Mercedes. No quarter asked or given here. Green Newell getting towards the back of the Ferrari, out of the final corner, runs out onto the green. The Ferrari dives for the pits. 2 hours of racing remain. Let's have a look at the standings. Triple C Kessel Racing are leading now a full lap ahead of Heart of Racing in second, with the number 81 Era Motorsport into the top 3 for the first time. Manamari Energy by EB Motors in 4th. Red Ant Racing ahead of ARC Bratislava in 5th and 6th. It's Continental Racing by Simpson Motorsport in 7th. In 8th, the Czech team Scuderia Praha. Kessel Racing still leading, but this has just happened. Alessandro Cutrera and Yannick Redant have clashed, with Cutrera just about to turn in and somehow keeps the car out of the gravel. Don't think there's any damage. Cutrera driving on from that incident. In contrast to the strong battles that are going on in the overall in the 992 class, GT4 and GTX, a little bit different. The leaders just really have to keep a cool head and get themselves to the checkered flag. Team Venture is leading GT4 and have been for about 6 hours now without, dare I say it, any major incidents or failures. 2 laps the gap back to CCS in second, and in GTX it's even clearer. An unchallenged start to finish victory on the cards here for Team Vortex V8. Their second place car, now Team 111 Racing, the Australians, and that's a 44 lap margin. Back in the lead of the race overall, Fabrizio Broggi. David Fuminelli in the Kessel Racing car is once again within striking distance. A 146 flat by Fuminelli. That is by far the fastest lap of the race, and here he comes. An effortless pass into the Arrabbiata curves. Fuminelli is pulling away immediately. An hour to go. Fuminelli and Kessel Racing on the way to victory. Era Motorsport in the top group now, and they've established themselves there. What a comeback 4th position at the moment. Kyle Tilley putting the pedal to the metal here to try and get towards the podium. This is a devastating setback for Michelin Motorsport. They've been battling for the lead in the 992 Cup class. Martin Rump is in the pit lane. The car is on its dollies. I'm afraid this looks serious. This could be the end for Michelin Motorsport. What a horrible end to what had been a good run so far.
Well, everything was going to plan until just last lap that out of turn 1 I lost drive. And yeah, immediately it seemed like severe damage to the car, probably drive shaft, and now we've confirmed, yes, the drive shaft is completely broken. So unfortunately, it's a DNF for us. The car was going mega, the pressures were great, the mechanics had been doing such a great job. We were running on solid P2 and basically still pushing, you know, trying to make up the deficit and be ready for attack if 909 would be to make a mistake or something like that. So we definitely tried to keep pushing, but also didn't really take any extra risk, so really unfortunate. The drive shaft was apparently new, so it's motor racing. That's what I said after qualifying as well, right? So now we have to live to it.
So that leaves a clear path to victory now for redcameljordan.nl. Luke Breukers behind the wheel of the 909 at the moment. The Spirit of the Race awards outstanding passion, achievement or sportsmanship around endurance racing. It's got a deeper meaning this weekend, dedicated to Red Ant Racing's Kenneth Hyer's sister, who tragically died just a few days before the race, giving birth to her daughter.
Kenneth, I'm not sure what the right words are to show my respect and my appreciation to hand over the Spirit of the Race award, but from the bottom of my heart, and that's the Creventic heart, we really appreciate it, we really respect it, that although the circumstances you had, that you still are here to race with us, so this one is really for you, well deserved.
20 minutes to go, and things are getting serious now for the last step on the podium. 3rd placed Sergei Nikolai, the Manamari Energy driver, is hunting down Hannah Grisham for Heart of Racing. I would say that Hannah's on a bit of a fuel-saving mission at the moment, is certainly not at full speed. Meantime, wow, Nikolai off the track there as he's pushing so hard on the far side of the circuit. Battle for 3rd place going down towards the first corner. Hannah Grisham on the inside trying to go past Ajit Kumar Racing, held up at the apex. Here comes the Manamari Energy car round the outside. The EB Motors machine has gone through into 2nd, and Hannah Grisham has got to try and make this pass if she's going to keep that car in sight. And that, we're hearing, could well have been the move for the win of the race, because Kessel Racing is going to receive a 4-lap penalty because one of their AM drivers haven't done the minimum driving time. Extraordinary here in Mugello. Team Venture, though, defending its 2-lap gap to CCS Racing. That'll be 1st place for them in GT4. Arnaud and Olivier Gomez of Team Vortex V8. An outstanding race weekend, pole position in qualifying, and they've led the GTX class from the start. Never been headed. In the 992 class, redcameljordan.nl back to the top of the podium. Fabian Dance with the honour of taking the Porsche to the checkered flag. A great performance by the Dutch team. Benefited a little bit as well from Michelin Motorsport an hour before the end. Now, it's all about the front of the field. This is now the last lap for Sergei Nikolai in the multicoloured Porsche. Emotions in the garage. All the team have played their part. An outstanding performance. On to the start-finish straight for the final time. The checkered flag is out and the winners cross the line after 305 grueling laps. Sabino De Castro, Fabrizio Broggi and Sergei Nikolai take the win at the Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello. 2nd place will be Heart of Racing by SPF. They did give their everything, but Manamari Energy unbeatable today. And what a drive back to 3rd place for Era Motorsport. They were 14th yesterday and laps down. Kyle Tilley bringing their car home.
Absolutely none greater than today. 2 years ago we got married and we won the 992 category. This year, 2 years after, we didn't participate last year. We came back with the GT3 and we won. This is the perfect celebration.
Sergei Nikolai bringing the multicoloured Porsche into Parc Fermé. Now the celebrations can begin in earnest. Meantime, we'll hear from the second place team, Harter Racing.
Oh, what a great race. I mean, that was 12 hours of excitement, fun, a little scary at times, but, you know, to be here second overall, winning the AM class, and Gray and Hannah, I mean, amazing. They both did such a good race.
Era Motorsport with Dwight Merriman, Kyle Tilley, Jake Hill and Randy L. In second position for Heart of Racing by SPS, Ian James, Gray Newell and Hannah Grisham. And your winners here in Italy, Manamori Energy by Heavy Motors, Francesco Ambrosi, Sabina De Castro and Sergio Nicolai.
And as the champagne is sprayed, let's confirm the final results of the Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello 2025. Manamari Energy by EB Motors ahead of Heart of Racing by SPS in second. Era in third. Fourth place, CCC Kessel Racing. Remember that 4-lap penalty that they got 15 minutes before the end of the race. Red Ant Racing in fifth. Sixth to ARC Bratislava. Continental Racing in seventh. Red Camel Jordan NL, the first 992 class car, and that is 8th position. Jutta in 9th and Scuderia Praha in 10th. The Michelin 12 Hours of Mugello, the first of our European races in 2025, has been completed. Another spectacular 24H Series event from Dutch promoter Creventic. We've had it all. Adverse weather conditions, drama, action, excitement, deep disappointment for some, and heartbreak. But for others, it's been joy, relief and elation. The next race is at the Ardennes roller coaster, Spa-Francorchamps. I'm John Hindorf. See you at the track.